My name is Dunstan Allison. I am a Managing Director here at BSR. In June of this year, the United Nations Human Rights Council approved new guiding principles on business and human rights. And at that moment in time, the key human rights question facing business moved from a why to a how. So how should companies apply the new UN guiding principles on business and human rights? Well, in BSR's opinion, there are four key things. First, put in place a human rights policy. Second, undertake a human rights impact assessment. Third, put in place a human rights action plan. And then fourth, report on those activities. But those four things actually sound very generic. What I think is more interesting is how individual companies can apply those four things given the industry that they're in or the particular business circumstances they find themselves in. For this reason, we've done some thinking on how technology companies can apply the UN guiding principles and have just published a paper setting out our thoughts. And in this paper we set out four things that we think technology companies can focus on. The first thing is to engage with users. As recent political upheavals have demonstrated, the role of the end user is much more significant in the technology industry than with other sectors. The second is to undertake due diligence on business relationships and business partnerships. A lot of technology companies will have very close relationships with their enterprise and business customers and will often co-create products and services with them. However, these customers can use the technology products for a variety of different uses, some good for human rights, some bad for human rights. So it'll be important for technology companies to undertake due diligence into who those customers are and what they may end up using the products for. The third is to understand opportunities for leverage. In the technology industry, companies will often find themselves in situations where they have influence but not control over the human rights impact of their products and services. And given that situation of having influence but not control, it's important to understand the concept of leverage. And that could mean participating in various public policy activities, it could mean collaborating with other companies and stakeholders, or it could mean integrating human rights into various procurement and contracting processes. The fourth is to increase comparability in human rights reporting. One of the key things about reporting is the ability of the report reader to compare one company's approach to another. That means in the area of human rights and technology, there's a need for much greater consensus, much greater understanding on what it is technology companies should be reporting in terms of their human rights impacts and human rights activities, so that report readers can more effectively compare one company to another. So we've written and published this report based on the last 6 years of experience working with technology companies on a variety of human rights issues, everything from conflict minerals to privacy and freedom of expression and labor issues in the supply chain. But we've called this report version 1.0. We've called it version 1.0 because we're seeking your opinions on what it's actually like to implement human rights principles inside your companies. And we want to publish version 2.0, version 3.0 in the future based on the feedback that you give us. So download the report, have a read, and tell us what you think.